Hey YouTubers, it's Fox, and boy do we had a lot to do. So let's get right into it real quick. Anyway, so last time, if you remember, the heroes had been told to enter the Colosseum. They must do a task, and were sent to the ogre lair. And so they went to the ogre lair. But as they started going towards it, um, in Akira's dreams, who wasn't at game, in Akira's dreams, he had visions of a falling infant, and seemed that he had to go to the ogre lair to save it from evil. And also, the wizard, or not the wizard, the magus in the group, or mage, he had heard of strange happenings around town. So people started searching around, asking for information before they left. And basically figured out that they were kidnapped by blue-skinned ogres in strange robes, and basically after a while they realized that the creature that was in town, the creature was actually in town but was kidnapped, and one of the townsfolk tried to mimic what the creature was saying, and Akira figured out that it was celestial, because he's the only one that understands that, and then went to the ogre's lair. And as soon as I got into the first room, which was a round room, 4 insectile ogres fell. Well, they didn't fall from the ceiling. They were like on stalactites in the ceiling, ready to attack. The description for insectile ogres, if you don't know what they are, they look like ogres only superficially. Their bodies are covered in chitin, and they have multiple arms and eyes like insects. So they look kind of like ogres, but they're more like spiders. And they have tremor sense and wide vision. Tremor sense 60 feet, by the way. And then after they cleared out this room, they also, the Dragonborn, Leviacus, actually has bought a pseudo-dragon, and which can sense anything around, and found that, and also has a very high hide check, and found some scorpions, and wizard, and basically solved all the rooms by going to each one. And so they said that they were going to ignore the scorpions and go straight for the mage because the boss. So they went to fight the mage named Brath the Lesser. And basically he just is floating in the air, and as soon as Smurferin's character gets in range, he just stares at him, and just kind of, he's the only one that he can see because the rogue stealth and the other people were behind a wall, so he only knows there's a wolfman in his cave, and so he just casts a spell to go into gaseous form and then floats away down a hallway. And basically this hallway connects to the dining hall. And so that started happening. They started trying to run after him. Didn't have enough speed because the place was huge. And he got into the dining room, alerted everyone about the enemies, and then people were hearing more spells being cast. Meanwhile, the pseudo-dragon and hawk were left in the hallway. And a few turns went by, fighting of the ogres in a small hallway. And basically, as they were fighting, the hawk and pseudo-dragon just saw a sheep go down the hallway. And, well, the hawk, or Inazuma had the hawk basically grapple the sheep and then drop it into where the scorpions were. And as he does that, the sheep just transforms back into the ogre mage because he has the ability to polymorph self. And he can... excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, he basically just goes into the scorpion den, and since it's his pets, his guardians, he tells them to go attack the intruders as well. So now they're being cornered by both hallways, and basically eventually they do take out all the scorpions and all of the ogres, but then at first the mage tries to kill the hawk but misses, and then just goes down and back into the dining room and casts the spell darkness and starts moving into the main hallway, and so nobody can see unless they have dark vision. And then he casts the spell Charm Person, and so he casts this on Smurferin, the barbarian, because he is the only one that looks dumb. Also, he thinks he's the only one in here. So he casts Charm Person and he starts attacking all the allies. And he actually then stops casting darkness and casts invisibility and starts running away again. And then basically eventually he gets caught by the rogue and the what's it called? The Soulborn, Blackstrider. So Inazuma and Blackstrider just go up and finish him off. And so he finally dies, and that's not quite the end of the dungeon, but some of the things that they found was 1,000 platinum, which is ridiculous. And some just armor, weapons that they can't use because all these enemies are huge size. They also found a ring of climbing. And then when there's also this one room that has a double door to it. So they go up to it, and after a certain number of people get in front of it, they set off a falling block trap where it does 6d6 damage. And it basically can't be reset. And so yeah. And so that's basically all the big stuff. And they get into this room after setting off the trap because they all failed perception. I think it was like a 26? I forget. And they find in this room here's the description for this character. A beautiful, forlorn-looking young man is chained to the floor of this chamber. Numerous bloody stripes across his chest and back indicate that he has been flogged. His eyes are clear blue and full of an anger that could only be described as righteousness. Basically, it was a male archon, and his name is Othriel. And he basically, first off, asks them if he can get unchained. And they start talking, and he actually recognizes Akira. And they get talking, and basically after a long time of talking, Akira slowly starts getting his memory back. And all of a sudden, basically the whole storyline of this is Akira's brother pushed him out of heaven, like pushed him off a cloud, and just descended and basically landed on his head, giving him amnesia. And so he thought that he lived in the town, and then Akira's brother was banished to Earth, and so he'd become a fallen angel. And so also what else did they and he starts remembering all of this, and then he realizes, oh crap, the guy that was talking to us, the shady figure, yeah guys, that might have been my brother, maybe. And so they're all like, oh fuck. And after they finished this dungeon, they actually got 2 levels because of how much ridiculous they had to go through. But it was a lot of fun. Whew, it was a lot of fun. But they get back to town. They start asking around to see if they hadn't seen him, but they haven't. And Inazuma and Leviticus actually go back to the desert village because they have 1 month until the Coliseum begins, which they signed up for. And basically, when they arrive at the desert village, they find that it's completely abandoned, and they find blood where the wizard was. So yeah, not good. And then that's pretty much all that happened. The Inazuma now has leadership, so now he has a whole bunch of followers. So yeah, basically everything that happened after this was RPing. Highlights were mainly I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose highlights out of this dungeon because there wasn't anything like super special that happened. It was mostly just normal fighting. It was just a lot of fun to fuck around with the wizard. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else, so it is midnight already, so I'm probably just tired and forgetting stuff. But yeah, that's the main gist of what happened, and next time will be the Coliseum fights. So I'll see you guys then.